In this video, I'm going to go through how you can make your own plan ready for summer if you want to lose some weight. So for this example, we're going to be losing 12 kilograms for summer, and these are all the stats below. Just before we start, I just want to preface this by saying all of the software I'm using in this video to build a plan is my own training app. So if you want access to that or want to join the coaching one-to-one, then all the links will be in the description below. However, now I've done that, let's get into it. So we want to lose 12k ready for summer. You want to build your own plan and you want to do it for free. I completely get that. So this is how you're going to set it up. So for the example, we're going to use these stats I've got on screen. So we're using a guy called Dave, who's obviously male, 82 kilograms, 188 centimeters, works an office job, wants to work out 3 times per week. And the goal he wants is to lose 12 kilograms in 12 weeks. It's really important at this stage we have a clear goal because we need to reverse engineer the plan from that goal. So this is the process I'll go through with my clients, obviously, to set this up. For the speed of this, I've obviously mapped out all of this plan in advance. However, I'll go through exactly how I've done that and explain how you can do it yourself. So to start with, we obviously need the goal, which we've got here. And these are the starting stats. If you don't have these, obviously you need to get your weight, your height, an idea of your activity level. So for this, obviously works office job, probably not going to be too active. And you want to decide how many times you actually can work out a week. Not how many times you want to work out, how many times you can work out a week. That's very important difference. So for this, very simple, will take you a couple of minutes. Write them down so you've got that. And then we can go forward. So as I said, it's very important you write down how many times you want to train. This is because we need a training split we can stick to and one that's going to be effective for building muscle. Obviously, we're going to be losing a lot of weight in a short period of time here, so we want to make sure we're building muscle. Otherwise, we're just going to go and look like a shriveled shrimp rather than someone who is lean, athletic, and strong. So, for example, 3 times a week, we want to be hitting every muscle in the body twice per week. So for this, all we want to do is divide it up into full body splits. Probably the easiest one to follow and the easiest one to write to your own programs. So simply, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the training, as I'm sure you know what you should be doing with this. However, you want to make sure you're covering all muscle groups, like I said, and we need to be writing down a plan. It's essential we have a plan to follow, because without this and without tracking the data, then we can't know if we're progressing or not. So you simply want to get the exercises you want to do, ideally the reps, the sets, and the weight you're going to lift in that session. Then we can have this to write down our data. So our plan is to obviously go in, lift 40 kg dumbbells, obviously total of 80 kilograms for 6 reps. And we're going to write how many sets we did, how many reps we did for each set, and the weight we did for each set, and the rest in between. This is important so we know where we're at now and if we're progressing. Obviously, it's going to be hard to progress in a cut. However, we want training intensity to at least stay the same, if not get slightly better. So this is important. We're tracking this data. And it's the same across all workouts. We just need our plan when we're going in there, so we're not wasting time and we know what we're doing. And obviously somewhere to write down the data that we actually achieve, because it doesn't always go 100% to plan. There'll be days where you lift slightly heavier, there'll be days you lift slightly less. However, we just want to get a general idea to make sure we're making progress over the next 12 weeks. Really is as simple as that. As you can see, obviously this isn't a calendar, so it's going to keep you disciplined because you've planned exactly when you're going to do this. All you need to do is go in, do it, and obviously execute. And that really is that simple with your training. Don't need to overcomplicate it. Just go in there, train with some intensity, track what you're doing, and make sure you progress over the coming weeks. Really is that simple. So now on to the good stuff, where this is going to be the real key to losing the weight. We obviously are at 82 kilograms and our goal is to lose 12 kilograms in the next few weeks. So our starting point is we need to know how many calories we are going to be eating. So all you're going to want to do is go in and put your age in, our height, which was 188 centimeters, and our weight, starting weight was 82. And as we're at an office job, probably not doing much exercise around that, so 3 times a week, we'll add that there. And this will calculate our calories. So obviously, as our goal was to lose 12 kilograms in the next 12 weeks, we want to be at this level because 1 kilogram a week is the goal, and these are the calories we're going to need to do that. Obviously, if your goal is stretched out longer or you don't have as much to lose, then you can use these to find your correct indication. But for the example we're using today, we're going to go for the 1 kilogram per week. This is going to be very aggressive, and I don't suggest always cutting so aggressive. However, for this purpose, it is what we need to do. Right. So once we've got our calories, we're obviously going to need to write out a bit of plan to follow. So in the beginning, we're going to be at 82 kilograms. This is our target starting weight and obviously our targets. So each week we want to lose 1 kilogram. This obviously just helps us break it down and reverse engineer the plan. As you can see, our calories are here as we got from caloriecalculator.net. And this is our protein goal, which we got from doubling our body weight in kilograms. Really straightforward. And at the minute, our activity level is pretty low because if we work an office job, we probably don't do many steps. So let's be conservative and let's say we're doing 6K steps per day. We're going to want to increase this, obviously, to make the fat loss easier. So as you can see, our progression, we are slowly ramping the steps up till we get to 10K. So as we go along the weeks, we just want to be keeping to our calorie target and eating the right amount of protein. This will obviously help us lose the weight. The scales might fluctuate as you go through the days. However, we want to be weighing ourselves every single day and taking a weekly average. That is the best way to do it. Then we're going to go to a certain point where after 6 weeks, our body is going to have made a lot of adaptation. As you can see, if we followed the schedule, then we should be down at 77 kilos. This means we are going to be at a new weight. So this is where we want to go back into our calorie calculator, but we want to go back and put in our new weight and recalculate it. So as you can see, now we have a new calorie target as our body has made the adaptations to lose the weight of 1,461. And as you can see in the plan, that we've come back to 1,544. You may be thinking, we need to lower the calories here, but evidently we actually don't. Our body needs to be in that much of a deficit to lose that weight. However, at this point, I don't think it's very wise to drop calories even lower because we're already eating little food and it's going to be harder and harder to get our protein intake in with that amount of food. So instead, we're going to add 100 calories of cardio every single day. This is obviously going to facilitate the drop and mean we continue to lose the weight at the same rate. And as you can see here, we gradually add in 50 calories of cardio every single day, every 2 weeks. And this will allow us to keep making those adaptations and keep losing weight at the same rate until we get to our goal of 70 kilograms. As you can see, I've put in here reverse. This is something I will talk about on another video, so subscribe to stick around and see that. But this is basically the process of reversing your calories out so you don't add all that weight back on, which isn't a very important step that most people skip. So that really is as simple as that to build in a plan to lose the weight. It is very simple in effect with this plan, but the difficulty is obviously staying consistent and really following it. The idea that you need to be tracking this very importantly As I showed you, tracking the training, you can do that with a notes app, spreadsheet, or a training app like this. And you're going to need to be tracking your calories. You can just download MyFitnessPal and do that for free. Don't need to subscribe to the premium version. I don't see any difference in that. So that being said, that is your plan. You need to go ahead and execute on that. That's going to be the only way you're going to lose this weight. So if you do think you might struggle to execute on a plan like this, or even just building a plan like this, then I do offer a one-to-one coaching service. So feel free to go down into the description below where all the details will be on that. Read through, sign up, and I'll see you inside that if you want to join. However, if you want to do this for free, completely follow this framework and you will achieve this. It really is simple to build a plan, but it's obviously hard to execute it. So that'll be the difference between the people who obviously get the results they want and the results they don't. So if you've enjoyed this video and you found some value in it, then subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in a video next week.